Hello there guys and welcome to this video. This is an explanation on async task in JavaScript. So how to deal with async task. So before we actually proceed with how to deal with async task, we need to understand what is async task and what is the difference between sync task and async task. So here we go. Let's say we have one JS file here and we have this startup file to be mentioned as console.log start. Okay, I got started with this program here. Now we'll do some work. Let's do some work like let a equals to 5. And then we're gonna do what? We're gonna have a while loop. Okay, just say while a is less than 1 billion. One stands thousand, one stands 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, and 1 billion. Okay, so until and unless a is less than this 1 billion twice, we're gonna increment a here. Okay, so after this we're gonna simply console.log of a. Not a pretty much big program, but what happens here, I'm gonna explain it here. So before I'm gonna proceed with explanation, what I'm gonna do is let's console.log the end of the program. Okay, console.log the end of the program. So we'll simply type something like end here and here we got. So now what happens is I missed one color. Okay, so this is now, yeah. So what happens is the program first will be started, then a will be declared and it will be assigned with a value of 5. Let's say to be 0. We don't care at all for 0 or 5, so whatever it may be. So what happens here after this declaration and assignment, what happens is while loop will be executed. It will take some time to execute because 1 million is really a large number for my machine. And then it's gonna be incremented till 1 billion. After 1 billion, when at the time when it reaches 1 billion, this while loop will exit. Then only this code will execute and it will print 1 billion, and then the end will execute. So let's see, let's check it out. Okay, let's delete this, start one more terminal. We're gonna check it out. So we'll type node, the name of the file is demo. Okay, it's not saved yet, so we'll save it first. We got it saved, node demo.js, type start, some delay was there, and then end. Okay, so to reduce that delay, we need it to run it again. See, some delay is there. Yeah, after some delay it is going to happen. So what happening is while this while loop is being executed, it is blocking our entire code up in here. So what should we do? Down in here, not up in here. So what should we do in that case? If suppose instead of this while we are having some call from the server, like server is fetching some data from the database, thereafter it is sending us that data, and that data is being thereafter used to console.log simply. So just suppose that a is coming from the server and we need to print a over here, and also until unless it's not, fetched, the processing time is still there. What we're going to do is we want to do some other works not related to this, some other works. Okay, so like printing end would be a work. What happens here, it won't print in unless and until and unless a is not being given by this while loop, isn't it? So this is the synchronous code. What's happened is each and every line executed one by one, and we don't want it here. We don't want to block our application for one particular task of getting a, fetching a. We have got other things to do as well. So what should we do is we should go for some asynchronous coding here. So instead of while loop, what if we go for something like set timeout? Okay, so we'll go for set timeout. Set timeout. Okay, I'm just simulating that call from an server. So what we'll do is it receives a callback function as an argument. So I'll give an arrow function over here, and it will do what? It will return our a value. Okay, so it will first assign a as 1 billion. Okay, ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, and then billion. Okay, so A is 1 billion, and it will simply return a. Okay, after what delay? After some random delay. I don't know what is the delay here, so we'll simply like math dot random. Okay, so math dot random. Where's my random here? Yeah, here we go. So this alone won't work. We need to multiply it with 1,000 in order to make it comparative to seconds. Okay, so here we go. We have a delay, and it is from, so we need to actually 10,000 because it's from 0.1 to 1. Okay, I mean 0 to 1, so in points, so we need to multiply it with 10,000 here. So now it is simulated to as per seconds, I mean some random seconds from 1 to 9, whatever, from 1 to 9. Yeah, because actually 90 seconds now. Yeah, 9 seconds, 1 to 9 because 0.9, whatever. So we don't care here. We have got A to be 10 million after some random seconds, and then we got a here, and then the program will execute. So let's see. It should happen what we don't know how much time as per synchronous code. We don't know after how much time this a should be printed here. I mean up till until a is being returned by this function, this set timeout function. It should block our code now. It shouldn't print end here. That's the case now. That is the case we are expecting here, but that is not the case here. This set timeout is actually a async function. Means what? It won't block your code. Let's see how. We're gonna console.log it. I mean we're gonna run this program here. So node. Let's first clear everything here. Clear the clutter here. So we'll type something like clear. Enter. Okay. So everything is clear now. So we'll type node demo.js. Here we go. Start is there. Yeah. It actually waited some time and then in came. Okay. Yes. What does that mean? That means set timeout is actually synchronous, not asynchronous. Is that? Have we saved it? No, we have not saved it here, no? Oh man, somebody kill me, okay? Let's clear the clutter again with the clear command. Okay, now we have saved this file. So now if we type something like node demo.js, in that case what's happening is start and 0. Oops, not 1 billion. Why, man? Why 0 here? And the program terminated now after so many seconds. I guess 9 seconds or something like that. We didn't calculate here, but after so many seconds it actually ended. So let me show you again this very clearly. Node demo.js, print here, start 0 end, not 1 billion but 0, and now the program ended. Okay, so what's happening here? We don't understand, right? We have got a as 0 here, and that 0 is being printed here, not 1 billion. We have assigned 1 billion now, so 1 billion should be printed, but it's not. Why? Because set timeout is actually a sync function. It is not blocking our code. It doesn't know how much time will it take for set timeout to execute, so it's doing what? It's not blocking code here, but it's transferring the code flow, I mean the program flow, from here to here. So it is simply console.logging a and the old value of a, not the assigned value of a, and is printing that old value of a and ending the program here. But before the program actually exits, it is checking if this is executed or not, and the last when it is executed, the program is exiting actually. So we don't want 0 now, we want 1 billion, because 1 billion is the response coming from server actually. So to deal with such asynchronous codes, we have got few things in JavaScript to handle that asynchronous calls. So what we can do in here is we don't return a here, but simply we call some function here like cb may be a function now, but okay, and inside in cb what we're going to do is we're going to pass a. Okay, and this cb will be given as an argument to this callback function cb. Okay, and at the time of calling, we don't want console.log here. At the time of calling, what we'll do is we have got this, oh, we need to wrap it around a function here. Okay, so just wrap it around a function. So, and this CB won't be given to this callback function, but we'll give that to that function itself. Okay, so let's clear it, and we're gonna define one function like function fun. Okay, and it is taking an argument as CB is opening here, and we're gonna put all the set timeout inside this function. Okay, let's put it here, press enter to look it beautiful, R plus F plus F to format my code using beautify. That doesn't matter in this lecture actually. So now what happened is we are having one function and that is named with fun. It's taking one argument CB, and using that CB it's doing what? It is calling CB after assigning A to 1 billion, and it's passing 1 billion to CB. So now at the time of calling, what we can do is we simply call our function like fun, and we pass in an argument to it, and that argument has to be a function, and that function is receiving one argument as A, and we call that argument as a response here. Okay, so just type res as a response. We have got this, and now we'll simply console.log this function in here, this response in here. Okay, res. Okay, so let me actually clarify you with this code what this code is actually doing. So this code is doing nothing, but it is first this function is being created. This function is simulating, I'm sorry, stimulating or simulating, whatever you can call. So it is actually simulating an API call, and it is assigning A as 1 billion. Then after assigning A as 1 billion, it is calling one function. That function is CB, which it is taking as an argument over here, and this kind of scenarios are called callback function in JavaScript. So it is actually a callback function. That's why I have named it CB also. Smart, I'm not. Yeah, I know. So whatever that is. And then CB, we are passing A as an argument to CB, and this CB is being passed to this function from in here. Okay, at the time of calling. So we are calling res, we are calling fun with an anonymous function here. We are not naming it here, and that anonymous function is being received as CB in here in this function, and that CB is being passed with this argument as A, and that A is being received as a response here, and this response is being console.log. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so, and also, yeah, we have to deal with some other things, like we have some other works to do, like telling me that I'm an awesome guy. So it's console.log that thing. Console.log. Ronit is an awesome guy. Ronit is an awesome guy. Okay. So it will do what? We want to know that I'm an awesome guy without blocking any code that is being coming from server, and that code should be printed. But later on, before that, we want to know. I mean, we don't want to get blocked because of that server call. We just want to know that I'm an awesome guy. I'm not frustrated. I'm just awesome. Okay, so here we go. We got a node demo.js in here, and yes, it is starting. It's telling me that I'm an awesome guy. It's ending also, and because this end is in here now, you understand the control flow. That's not a matter of thing. And then after that, what's happening is it's executing at last, and that thing is actually not blocking our code. As in the previous example, it was blocking the code, right? In the while example, if you remember. So it's not blocking our code here. Thank God they're not blocking code. And it is also sending us the response, and we're receiving that response, and we'll console.logging this. So if it is an API call, it should not only have a positive response but also a negative response. What if our fetching from the database fails? We have not seen that scenario, no? Yeah. So it should also have one. We'll call this callback success, and then this will be callback error. Okay, and callback success is there. So we're gonna call callback success only if our A is equals to 1 billion. Okay, we'll simply copy and paste. I don't want to write again and again here. Simply triple C here, ctr plus v here, save it, and we want to call this only if a equals to, otherwise our negative response will be sent. I mean that failure response, that is CBE. Okay, and that CBE is going to pass. Whoops, something happened, something went wrong. Okay, simply oops, nothing else. No, I'm not a very much fan of writing stuffs, I'm sorry. And then we can also pass one more function to it, so this should also be a callback function, anonymous callback function. This should receive an error response. Okay, so this error response is nothing but what? It's oops. Okay, so we're gonna console.log this also, console.log this error response. Okay, so what happens is, if our server is actually assigning, I mean if it is checking something is happening here, we don't know what's happening, but some weird thing is happening, and if it is success we are getting the number, if it is not success we are getting oops as the error response. So this function will print accordingly. Okay, because the calling of the methods are accordingly. Okay, so if it's only one line we don't need to write any blocks here, so don't get confused with that. So in here we're gonna execute this file again. So before that, let's clear the clutter here. Clear it. I've cleared it, right? So next thing is I'm gonna run this application, and in here let's start, and it's an awesome guy, and then it is waiting. Yeah, now 1000, and then oops. Okay, so where's the error? Where is the error? We haven't typed else here. Okay, so even after if it's executing now, type else here. In that case, what happens is it will only send either positive response or negative response based on the value of a. So if we call it right now, get start, Ron is an awesome guy, and it's waiting, so much of time waiting, and it's sending us the positive response because some weird condition in the server. We don't have to deal with that. That weird condition, what happened? What is unsafe again? Did I deleted something? Did I? Don't know. Okay. Let's triple set it and see what I have deleted it here. Else was deleted now. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we've got now, if what if we change this value some lower value, so in that case we'll receive an error response. We don't want to check it, but we'll check, do it for fun. We don't have to deal with that thing over here. But now at least we are not blocking our code. Okay, so this code is being executed so seamlessly. So this is the beauty of callback functions. Okay, so using callback functions, what we are doing is we are not returning any value, but we are executing that function itself, and that function is being called, passed as an argument. Okay, at the time of calling. So that's so good. We are not blocking our code. We are knowing that Ron is an awesome guy. But do you even see this code? I hate this, man. So many callbacks. I mean, what if we write this on a line? Okay, we'll seriously get confused because of this. I don't want this code. Okay, so instead of having this code, what we're gonna do is we simply return a promise here. Okay, so that is a different thing, and that promise thing we'll be dealing in the next video. So stay tuned. Bye bye. Keep practicing. JavaScript is all about practicing.